Now here we can demonstrate some of the tricks again of the trade. What look like nice big substantial brick buildings are not brick at all. Sheets of plastic brick attached to the wooden frame. Now between the two sets, and we've already seen two different kinds of sets. The interiors when we visited Parenthood and the exteriors out here. That Parenthood set, that was built for a specific reason. The show Parenthood. Once the show goes off the air, that beautiful set that we saw will be torn down to create space inside the soundstage for future projects. Back here though, keep in mind, these sets were intended to be used over and over and over again by a wide variety of projects. Which means you have to be able to change what they look like from one project to the next. That's why these building materials are so pliable. Put real bricks up here, I mean, it's a brick building for time immemorial. You do this though, plastic, you change the facings. Now come on over here. Fire truck. VIPs, how about us? We gonna ride a fire truck? Anyway, this building behind me, this is not plastic, and it's not real concrete. First of all, it's very dirty. But this is all made out of foam rubber. And that was done for the stuntmen. Because one of the things in Westerns are not just the gunfights, the fist fights. And what you do is you take somebody, you grab them by the collar, you throw them against the wall, punch them in the stomach. Or you throw them against a real brick wall, that hurts. Throw them against a foam rubber wall, it doesn't hurt as much. Now one more thing, come on down here. I'm going to shatter every illusion you ever had about the Cowboys. Come on down here. They're literally everywhere. They're all over the place. Now, while we're standing here, guys, stare at that door across the street, the black door. There's something odd about it. Not immediately apparent to the naked eye. But it's smaller than normal, closer to the ground. And this area is dotted with doors like that. Smaller doors, smaller windows. It's not an accident. It was done deliberately. That way actors who are average or less than average in height can be photographed in one of these doors. They appear to be taller than they really are. Tom Cruise loves this idea. As you might imagine. Now just as a demonstration here, now it's been years since I've been measured. So I really have no idea how tall I am. I'm somewhere between 5'9" and 5'10", which is not, it's not tall. It's not Mickey Rooney either, but it's, it's average size. However, I go over here. I fill up the doorway. I'm redecorating my house based on this information. Now we didn't leave the ladies out. Because in Westerns, as politically incorrect as it sounds, the ladies were supposed to be small and dainty and in need of protection from the big strong cowboys. And needless to say, the ladies we cast weren't always small and dainty. So we built these over here. These doors and windows are bigger than normal. Actresses can stand in front of these and it's the opposite. They appear to be smaller than they really are. And oddly enough, the guys that caused the problems were the 6-footers. People like John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart and Gary Cooper. All of whom were over 6 feet tall, and they couldn't be photographed against either one of them. We had to build completely new sets for those guys. Or at least photograph them walking down the middle of the street, and hopefully nobody would notice. But one of the great stars of the old days, today you cannot really explain how big a star he was in terms of box office. But his movies made, most of which are forgotten today. Most of the movies are forgotten. But he was a tremendous box office star. His name was Alan Ladd. And the movie he's probably best remembered for is a Western called Shane. Right? Alan Ladd was in fact 5 feet 6 inches tall. Everything looking very peaceful, very calm, very smooth. We like the peaceful, calm and serene. Really we do. Uh-oh, look out the water. Finn! It's a shark. man-eater too, judging by the size of him. Fortunately, he's not after us. He's after the diver. Who picked a lousy career? Let's see what I mean. Yes, I know, intense pain. Oh, look at the blood. It's okay though, because Upside takes the stain off for 30 seconds. 30 seconds fine. Anyway, the shark will now be coming after us. So we get off them and we can't get off the pier. We're stuck for some reason. Uh-oh, look behind us. There goes the pier. Now watch those gas tanks over there on the right-hand side. That's bad because you know how much gas costs. Here's the shark. We celebrate Halloween very differently in this country than probably you do in your own countries. Here at Halloween, we try to scare the pants off everybody. That's our goal. If we can induce a few heart attacks, we're happy at Halloween time. But this is for the Halloween episode of Parent. They'll be doing some nighttime filming here. I don't know, Dave. I really don't know. It was TV. It was TBA on the board. Yeah. Okay. No. Over here, just slow down there, Dave. Get that. Real quickly, you saw the sign. This is Wisteria Lane, the mouth of Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. They are doing a Halloween episode as well. And this is just one end of the street. Keep in mind, the majority of the houses are down behind us past the curve there. And I think this is how the Grinch stole Christmas. It's about as different from Wisteria Lane as you can possibly get. This is one of many sets that were created for that movie, by the way. Most of the sets were inside sound stages on the front lot. 10 sound stages were used for that one movie. All 10 of them filled with sets just like this one. Oh, and look at that, coming out of the office. I live and breathe. It's Norman! Norman Bates! He's going into room number 1 there. I don't know what he could be up to here. I'm not even sure what brings him back to the motel after all these years. Oh, I see. He's back to tie up a few loose ends. Actually, he's back to tie up Marion Crane, but hey, don't get me started. Does he see us? I can't tell. I get the idea, I get the feeling, you know, we're seeing something we shouldn't be seeing. Oh, now he sees us. Now I know he sees us. It's never good, because when he sees us, he gets nervous. When he gets nervous, he gets tense. And now he's coming over here. I knew it. When he gets tense, he gets the knife. Yeah. He's already asking Norman. Be good, Norman. Be good. There he is, down the hill over there on the right-hand side. Yeah. Oh, he's gone. Now we have a set from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, a more contemporary film. This is amazing. First of all, my apologies to those of you getting on the plane in the next 24 hours.
Well, you know what? It might not be a teacher's idea.
Yeah, we might not be. So let's get. I was going to get on, folks, but I think I'm not going to be able to. They have construction over here, which kind of surprises me. But that's okay. We have some mannequins, some are not. Tom Cruise. All this is nights.
Some
watch
are
your video
woman
screen.
kids, aren't they?
What?
Some are woman-kins.
Yes, exactly. Now watch your video screens. Here's from War of the Worlds. Check this out.
It's all designed around the vision of Steve. And to sit down to talk about the War of the World. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good.
What? just like a right. Yeah. Yeah. Right first thing. Gotcha.
Robbie, get in.
The average blockbuster costs $1 million per minute for finished film. And visiting a set like that, some of those little factoids I just threw at you, you can understand why.
We're going to retrace our steps here a little bit, as you can see. There's Whoville again over on the right-hand side of this guy.